So you asked me what has, April's situation done to me. So what do you think it's done to us relationship wise? Between me and you and I.
We've gotten closer. If I could be honest, we've definitely gotten very close. Like we were already obviously in love with each other. We were even when we first got like our first year. I mean, we're still in the honeymoon stage. I'm not saying that, but that first year of marriage, I mean, you're flying off the roof, and like
you're on a high.
Yeah. So we when we first experienced Abel, being born at 1 pound, we were at that high while living the low. So it kind of balanced that. And now with where we're at in our marriage, we definitely have learned a lot about each other in a great way, and learn what to respect. And we're still learning. I mean, we only have 3 years, but I feel like we've been married even longer.
It feels like
from like I'm not trying to like exalt our marriage, but from what we've been through, it's definitely brought a lot of like positivity and a lot of wisdom and just a lot of character into our marriage.
Yeah, I feel like we've developed.
Yeah, for sure. And I always grew up at a young age, but that's a different story. What is done now is, I think, what we struggle in. We don't make time for ourselves because we don't have that time.
Yeah, like date night.
Yeah. So that's one thing that it's done to us, that we had to be careful in not removing that, because that's very important in our marriage.
Yeah, and anybody.
Yeah, but I can't also blame each other. Like, I can't be mad. I'm learning. I know it sounds very like childish, but like sometimes at nights when I want you to hug me or like give me a kiss and you're like ignoring me, you're like, I'm done. I'm going to bed. And I know sometimes I make childish comments like, oh, well, you didn't used to do that when we first got married. But I had to acknowledge that, like, with Abel, I have to understand you are tired. It's been rough. And sometimes I won't get that hug because you put all that energy into Abel that you don't have any left to give me, or vice versa. And so I'm learning to be okay when you don't give me a kiss. It doesn't necessarily mean you don't love me.
No.
Yeah. I'm very weird. I'm clingy, but I'm not.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean by that. I'm clingy, but then I'm not. So just that, I think that's what it's really done. That we had to find that balance, and we had to be careful.
Yeah.
In how to like.
I agree.
Make time, and we have to learn how to seek out like the primary support is your mother, my mother-in-law. That's the biggest primary support right now. She'll come in a heartbeat, and we have to be able to be more open. We got to learn how to communicate.
Yeah.
And say,
like
because I'm tired of like feeling guilty, because I know a lot of parents.
Yeah.
That like. There's always that comment, oh, you always leave your kid with your mother-in-law. You're always trying to go out. Mm-hmm. How do you know that? Like, what if I just need time in my marriage? Stop making me feel guilty because I had somebody watch my child.
Yeah.
No,
it's true. I think, that you have to invest in your marriage, or else
you have to.
You'll be investing in
It's a relationship. It's like a relationship with God. How do you expect to have a relationship with God if we don't talk to Him?
Yeah.
It's with us. You have to put time and effort into it. And so I mean, it's gotten tough. I'm not going to sit here in front and say that our marriage has been colorful rainbows in a storm.
Yeah.
It hasn't. It's placed us in
we've
tough.
Had our very high highs and our low
lows. Yeah, for sure. And So I think I answered it. I hope I answered it.
Yeah, you did.
And even as of right now, I'm thinking sometimes I don't feel like a good parent.
Mm.
Sometimes I feel like Abel could deserve better parents, but God trusted us with Abel.
Yeah.
And people always say, and the doctors say it, everyone always says you're doing an amazing job with Abel.
Yeah.
And it's very true.
Yeah.
I think we are.
I think.
Sometimes I don't see it though. When we see people in public and they're like, I just admire your faith. I admire like who you guys are, and just your strength. You're so strong and young. And then there's times where I'm like, God, help me see what they see in me.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah.
help me see that in myself.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't feel that.
Yeah.
You know,